Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibs7 here again, and welcome to the RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this week's update and patch notes, as well as last week's update and patch notes, as I didn't get to talk about that since I haven't made a vlog in a couple of weeks. Pretty much, I guess, since I made my video talking about my 500% Zamorak kill and my experience with the boss and all that. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Oh no, I did make a vlog about the Grand Exchange max cash limit being removed and all that stuff about 10 days ago. So there's that as well. But yeah, anyway, they basically had nothing at all this week. They titled it July Patch Week, and I read through all the patch notes. Not a single thing in there was worth mentioning. And unfortunately, they still haven't addressed the really annoying issue of the hunter areas outside of Croesus preventing you from AFKing at them. Basically, like if you catch one thing there, you have to restart it. Like it stops you after one, so that's really annoying. And they've also released another treasure hunter promo, which I don't know if it starts on Thursday. And that's going to be reintroducing the Assassin's Walk override, which a lot of people have wanted to come back. And I think that's one of the last ones that has been, has returned into the game. Sorry, I can't really talk for some reason. But there's been a bunch of these tokens over the years that have come from Treasure Hunter, or I don't know. I think most of them are just from Treasure Hunter. And a lot of people, for some reason, thought they were going to be discontinued forever, and they got merged to Oblivion. And some of them were very, very expensive, like 10 bill or something like that. And then they were re-released, and suddenly they've crashed, and all those people who bought it got kind of screwed out. But yeah, this one's coming back. They've been really going pretty heavy on the treasure hunter this month. It's been kind of stupid. I normally don't talk about the treasure hunter too much, but it has been a little bit ridiculous this month for sure. First, they have this upcoming thing with the Assassin's Return and all that, and then I think the one that's still going on right now is like this whole ridiculous thing where you're fighting, I don't even know, you're like, you click attack and you attack the thing, and it's really weird. I don't know why they like. I don't usually have a huge problem with treasure hunter. I don't like that it exists, and I don't buy keys or anything, but normally they just run these stupid promos where you spin and you get more stuff, but these are like these promos, and it looks like this upcoming one as well, are like they put like a bunch of effort and work into them, and you can see that there's unique animations for some of them, and clearly like dev time that went into them. So it's kind of annoying to see that when they are always, when we've moved to a fairly consistent monthly update schedule, and they're spending all that other time that could be going into these updates on stupid treasure hunter promotions that are honestly just ugly to begin with. So I mean, like, look at this. This looks like absolute garbage, and clearly it's meant to be for the mobile game market. Look at this. This attack button is not even centered, and that just annoys me so much. At least it's not centered on the portal in the background, which is what I'm seeing it against. But yeah, so it's kind of ridiculous, frankly. They've and the worst part about it is, which I was really sad about. I've wanted them to do ability overrides for a long time because that's something that Path of Exile uses a lot and is pretty successful. So I've really been wanting them to do that for a long time, and I was really happy when on the Yak track they had the is the Yak track over now? I guess it probably is. But on the Yak track they had the II and Sunset, the II and Sunset Sunshine override, and I was like, oh my god, they're finally doing it. I'm really hyped, and now, unfortunately, they've gone and released the next two overrides on Treasure Hunter. I was hoping they were going to be maybe a Yak Track or Solomon Store type deal, but no, of course, they have to go and put them back on freaking Treasure Hunter. And if you didn't see, although you probably did, and this wasn't in last week's update, they've released Azure Dragon Breath, and I think Champions Hurricane is what it's called. So basically, it's just blue Dragon Breath, and then the Hurricane one, you can barely even tell what is the difference. It's just like the white circle that appears when you do the hurricane, the white trail behind your weapon, that is instead gold. Oh my god, I didn't know I had this override on. But yeah, you guys probably know, but I'll show it as well. So it's blue Dragon Breath, which looks really cool. I'm really sad that it's on Treasure Hunter. And then this white thing right here is instead gold, which again barely looks different, so that one's kind of lame. But yeah, the one kind of good thing about this is Iron Man actually can buy these off the GE, which is very weird, but you can't sell them back, and they're just a cosmetic thing. I'm not sure how much they're going for now. Let me quickly look in the price check and trade Discord because I'm kind of curious. They were up above 100 mil for quite a while when it first came out, but I haven't checked in a while. Let's look if hopefully Azure works to just find it. All right, we'll give it a second to think about that. But yeah, like I was saying, it's quite sad. Oh my god, it's 650 mil right now. Are you kidding me? That is insane. It's at least 500 mil for it. Maybe it was. Wow, that is ridiculous. Frankly, I would definitely not pay that much for it. So yeah, I mean that just sucks. It sucks. I really, actually, this is probably manipulated or something. It's like the same three people. Like there's just one person who fills up the entire latest trades. I don't know. This, I really want the unlimited cash GE to come out, but also I really wish with this GE update that they're going to be doing with the death cost rework that they would allow you to see the most recently traded, the most recently completed trades for an item like directly, like you can kind of see on this on the Sudi bot it but it, it's not really reliable because people can BS it so easily. But regardless, it is very, very expensive and kind of stupid. I just hate that it's on Treasure Hunter. I wish they were like, I mean, the Yak tracks are still technically an MTX thing, but if you have Premier Club, you get all of it for free. So I don't mind that one too much. And then Solomon's Store, I pretty much have no problem with because it's just cosmetics and you can buy them. I mean, that's the best kind of MTX in my opinion, is when you can directly buy something that you want and it's just a cosmetic. That's basically my opinion. But yeah, unfortunately, these two ability overrides are on there. Hopefully, they release more on the Yak tracks in the future. I don't know, but yeah, the other things. This was also a scatter shot ninja strike week, is what they called it. And let me see, if I don't really remember there being a whole lot of stuff. They made it so that leprechauns and farmers at farming spots don't move anymore, so that's kind of nice since you don't have to worry about them being moving around when you're trying to click them and get your payment in or note something or whatever. So that's nice. They also made the farmers have pay as the left click option, so that's a good little change. Some changes to Pyramid Plunder, which I don't think anybody does anymore, aside from to maybe get the Black Ibis outfit and Scepter of the Gods, but they've made it so that all 4 of the entrances now will take you to the Guardian Mummy. It was a bit stupid and annoying having to find the right entrance, and then, I don't know how long it remained the same, but sometimes it would change and you have to find it again. Just a bit annoying. And then I guess, I don't know what level Pyramid Plunder requires. It says players with 41 plus thieving entering it will have a special thing, but okay, so you unlock it at 20. So once you get 41 thieving, if you've done Pyramid Plunder before, sometimes when you open the door, the mummy can smack you and you have to click back on it again or something. I don't know, but that will stop happening. Yeah, here you go. Actually, it's right here. Guaranteed entry to Pyramid Plunder. You now enter the Jal Savra Pyramid in Sophiam without risking a random act of violence from its guardian mummy. So yeah, that's kind of good, I guess, because that was also an annoying part of it. Weird that they made it a skill unlock, though, to be honest, and didn't just remove it. They made it so that all skilling tools pretty much can now let you use bladed dive, sculpting chisels, all the crystal tools mainly, and those things. So that's nice. What else did they do? The catalyst fragment from Slisuke's endgame now counts as an offhand melee item for bladed dive, which is nice. Of course, that is something that I'm surprised that wasn't already counted, to be honest with you, but that is good as well. What else? Was there any other things in here? It was pretty small amounts of stuff. They did nerf the commons on Zami's drop table. I think they took off Serenic skills, was it? Let me check the wiki page. But they added blood runes, and you do get quite a lot of blood runes as far as I can tell. I haven't done any myself, like I said, but you do get a decent amount of blood runes as far as my clan was saying. Yeah, looks like they took off Serenic skills, added on blood runes, so It's up to you, how you feel about that. I guess it's just that he was dropping too many Serenic scales, that's for sure. I mean, they're probably still already at elk price because of that. Okay. Oh, they're. I didn't realize their elk price is only 6K, but yeah, 100K each. They're very very cheap, and he was just dropping them like crazy. But he still drops onyxes like crazy, and also these relics which elk for 1 mil. So yeah, it's. I mean, it's not that much different. I think that was the only real thing they changed. Also, although I think they also made the drops a little bit less good um, with this as well. So yeah, that is a little bit interesting. They also said they adjusted the weighting of the rares on the drops so that you'll get the bow pieces more and chaos roar less as often as you used to, which I've definitely seen reflected in broadcasts in the chat and the worlds I've been in. Definitely been seeing a lot more people getting bow pieces than prior to last week's update. So I think that's good. It's still over max cash for each piece, I do believe. So it's still very, very expensive and a really good drop to get. So it's nice that it's been made a little bit more common. They also made it so that the when you do run through the actual dungeon, you will get a better rare drop chance. Now, how much of an increase that is, we don't know. And I think I've talked about this before, but basically it has to be like 10 times better of a drop rate for it to even be worth it time wise. And even then, is it worth it mentally to have to slog through that dungeon to get that higher drop rate? Because, you won't have as many rolls on the, to get that rare drop. So if you do the whole dungeon, then you don't get anything. It's going to be a lot more depressing than just doing a regular kill with a lower drop chance and not getting anything. So if you guys understand my meaning there. So I highly doubt that they've made it common enough to actually make it worth doing for anything above your first 25 kills. They kind of framed it in a way when they were talking about it to make it so that it seems like the only reason they did it was to make your first 25 worth a little bit less painful. And then it seems like they just don't expect anybody to ever do it after the 25 KC, which I think is kind of lame. It's a pretty cool dungeon overall and has a lot of stuff in it, and it's decent bit of content that's just going to end up being skipped by a lot of people because it's simply not worth doing. So I hope they change that. I mean, one thing they could do without even changing the rare drop tables is adjust the common loot in the dungeon. It was pretty bad from what I saw, when I was doing my runs. I was pretty disappointed with it. Not only the value, but also the items themselves that you get. Like all these one dose potions is kind of lame. Mithril plated salvage, like what is up with that? I don't know. But then you get tons of stone spirits and all that. But yeah, mainly just like absolute boatloads of half keys, which is kind of weird. So I was kind of disappointed with that. I was expecting and kind of hoping that they would release some additional orichalcum salvage types with this dungeon, which they didn't do. So that we've got like huge bladed rune and all the old stuff in here. And then I really don't understand why it drops normal planks and grimy marintills. It's some really weird stuff on the common loot table. So yeah, I think that they could definitely adjust that maybe and make it a little better. The rune quantities that you get, although it looks like I have a lot in here at this point. I mean, this is from 25 runs of the dungeon, so I think it would be nice if those were increased as well. Although they kind of want to keep that rune production to scaling. I don't know. I've rambled on about that for quite a bit, but still, I do think that is something that they shouldn't neglect because it kind of seems lame if it would just be a 25 runs and done, and then you never even think, oh, maybe I'll do a dungeon run this time, because there's no reason to do it at all unless you have fun doing it. But even then, might as well go do one of the other elite dungeons, which requires you to run through it, because it's similar gameplay in all the elite dungeons at this point. Other than that, there's a couple of other things, but not really that important. Enrage is now shared in all groups sizes. So if you have 1,000% enrage in a duo and you want to go in a trio, you can do 1,000% enrage. I thought that's how it already worked, so I'm kind of confused, but yeah, that's that. What else? They could change a couple of things with sounds. They did change the way that the thing looks when you have a drop in the chest. Previously, it was like red little daggers that swirled around you, and it was kind of hard to see, but I think still very obvious if you're looking for it. But now it's like, if you've ever done Crosis, you know the thing in the middle can sometimes have little spores show up on it, green, white, or red. And basically, it's the green spores from Crosis show up around you. So it's very bright and easy to see. So people seemed happy with that. I guess that's good. Let's see, any other things? There wasn't really a whole lot of significance. No changes to Phase 7 solo still, even this week, which I'm kind of annoyed about. I really think they do need to make some changes, as I detailed in my rant video. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is for Zammy. And then we have other, which I don't think was anything in other that I recall reading. So yeah, that's what I missed in the last week. There's a couple good things in there, I guess, but still nothing super significant. And then this week there is actually nothing, which is kind of wild. Probably like maybe 20 patches, 20 bullet points total in the patch notes, and absolutely none of them worth mentioning. I mean, I guess they fixed it so that you don't need 100 solo and 100 group at Zammy to get insane final boss. Now it's 100 kills combined. It is as it is at all other bosses. So that's, I guess, good if you were having to deal with that, although it's much less bad than it is at the other elite dungeons, of course, because you can skip. So yeah, interestingly, the solo in Rage has really jumped ahead of all the others. Mainly this one person, Depose, has reached 3,120% in Rage in solo. The second place person, Razzers, is at 2,070, so 1,000 in Rage behind. Depose is up there, 3,120%. Kill time of 20 minutes, 31 seconds. So those kills are getting long. My goodness. And as far as I know, there isn't any new mechanics above. I think the highest new mechanic introduction currently known about is at 17 or 1600. Let me check for you guys really quick. Yes, at 1600% in Phase 7, the amount of time he stops charging the bar for after you kill a rune is cut in half. So it's much more difficult to keep that red bar low. And that, of course, makes it even worse because it doesn't reset between phases or between cycles at above 1,000%. So I really have no idea how these people are doing 3,120% in Rage, 20.5-minute kills. You must be like, they're probably like doing a shatter on the first rotation and then fully stacking storm shards again and shattering again, maybe, because if you don't know, nothing will actually happen to you if you don't kill the runes. You can just he can charge up forever and the bar will be full. That doesn't mean, like, he won't just fire the attack. He won't kill you. Nothing will happen as far as I understand it. I've never tested it, but that's what it sounds like. And you can just stack shards up and get them that way. The other group sizes are really not even close to that. 25-20% is duo, 25-80 trio, and then 4-man's only 2010 and 5-man 2030%. So seems like a lot of people are stopping really pushing at this point, except for that solo person. So interested to see if they're able to push all the way up to 4K in Rage and get that final title. Of course, as we all know, this goes up to 60,000 in Rage. Doubt that anybody's going to be even going for that, but still, I'll be interested to see if there is any new mechanics discovered at this point onward, because I think there aren't any new mechanics introduced at Telos or the Archglacior above 3,000%. I think the Archglacior starts having its health scaling on the arms and all that at 2,500 plus. And then I think at Telos, even though it's not a mechanic, 2,700% marks the highest amount the Tendril needs to be dealt to get through it, I believe. But yeah, that is, again, that'll be interesting to find out if there are any new mechanics. It would be, you know how crazy it would be if there was a Phase 8 at 4,000% in Rage Plus only. But I highly doubt that at this point. I was kind of thinking that might happen at 1,000%, but it did not. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, you guys, I think. Again, I really am hoping to see some changes to solo Zamorak Phase 7. Then maybe I'll get back into pushing. I don't know. Not 100% sure. I think it's really, really lame that 99% in Rage camping is the best for drops. Sponge said on the stream that that's not true, but I mean, he's just wrong in that case, if you ask me. Just because when you compare the difficulty of the Phase 7 edition to the whatever the increased drop rate might be, it's clearly not worth it because people are getting tons of drops at 99% in rage camping. And, you know, there's no reason to go up above 100%. So it's just, you might as well just camp at that 99, make it much, much easier on yourself and get the same drops. So yeah, that's why I kind of thought that Bo should be 100% in Rage Plus only. That would make a little bit of sense to me compared to other bosses that have been released with similar situations. Like Zuck only drops the sword in hard mode, Carapac only drops the staff in hard mode, etc. That would make a little bit more sense to me, but you know, that's the way they decided to go with this one. And yeah, something that kind of takes away a lot from the enrage of the boss, you know, because this is an enrage boss, of course, but it's the first enrage boss since Araxor, I guess, that hasn't had the streaking mechanic. Of course, Telos and the Archglacior have that. And while I'm not necessarily saying I would want the streaking mechanic to be in at Zami, I still feel it's definitely less enjoyable to push and rage at this boss when you don't have that ability to streak and get really, really good drop rates. That's just my opinion, I guess. I know a lot of people don't like the streaking mechanics at Telos and Archglacior, and that's fair enough. But I've always been a big fan of them myself. And again, not saying that I think they should add it or anything like that, but still, that's another reason for me why I'm not really that interested in pushing in rage that much, because, you know, there's no reason to get really good at the higher end rages if camping there is not a significant enough drop rate increase to be worth it, and you're not going to be having to streak and get consistent kills as enrage increases because there's no streaking mechanic. So that's just another thing I thought I'd mention. But yeah, that's about enough rambling for me for today, I think. But I will be back with another video. Probably maybe later in the week I'll make another hardcore video or something like that. Or if there's any additional news on what's coming next month with the quest and the wilderness changes, I'll cover that as well. We're not sure when exactly, but sometime next month we are supposed to be getting the new wilderness changes, removal of PvP, adding of the threat system, and the new Daughter of Chaos quest, which will unlock something new on the Infernal Puzzle Box. Interested to see what that is. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and peace out.